an eargasm of learning and a no-fuss show. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast, where you can learn straightforward topics about branding, digital entrepreneurship, online business, and many more with your charming host, John Santos, along with inspiring entrepreneurs, creators, and thought leaders worldwide.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast with me, John Santos. And today we have a very special guest. She is not new on the show. Season 1, when we were still starting and growing, they're the first one who really trusted and believed in what we do here in the Creative Talk Podcast. Self-discovery coach, astrology and human design. Very beautiful. I love this person. I respect this person so much. Catherine Paquette, welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel so blessed to being able to come back and for us to have evolved so much, each on our side, and being able to come back together and have this conversation. So thank you for having me. Yeah.
Wow, you're always welcome. You're a family, my friend. Off cam, we've been talking about the pivot in what you do. You're still an entrepreneur. You're still, talking to a lot of people, touching people's lives, helping them grow and achieve success. But for everyone that is listening, for everyone that is watching, please guide us, give us an overview of where you're moving, where you're focusing your career, your entrepreneurial energy at the moment, my friend. The floor is yours.
Yes, thank you for that. So right now, my main focus, so I call myself a self-discovery coach because I use astrology in human design in that specific manner. So I'm not using it as a predictive tool, though I do guide my clients in a yearly sentiment of the year for them to help them plan, to help them succeed, but mostly to help them discover who they are and remember who they are. So I truly use those two tools as a self-awareness and a self-acceptance tool. So I've really been honing into a specific niche, and it's people that are in this transition phase. So I have a lot of very successful people, but they are at a point where they're like, am I focusing on the right thing? Am I positioning myself the right way? And astrology and human design has all of those keys.
Wow.
So I dive into your charts and I look at your soul assignment, your missions, your gifts, and I try to figure out who you are as a soul. Yeah.
Wow, that's very powerful. And before the whole pivot in your entrepreneurial journey, that's already you, Catherine. Knowing you, it's just now it's just going out, it's overflowing. But since day one, it's you already. We all have seen this. I seen it grow in you, the light in you, the passion in you, the love in you. So I'm just excited now that you're focusing on this, and I know you're helping a lot of people. Before we jump into the main topic of this episode, what made that pivot? What made that jump into focusing on this astrology and human design? What happened along the way, my friend?
It's a long story, but I'm going to try to bring you onto the big pillars,
Right.
especially knowing that the last time that we saw each other, I was mainly focused on personal branding.
Yeah.
So that was the last time. Last time I was coaching, doing personal branding for clients. And at that point in my life, I had things coming to me. And I came to a point where I really wanted to get educated on the financial markets.
Oof.
I am, as a woman, I take this very seriously, to being able to have that financial literacy and being able to manage my own money. So I took 2 years to learn how to trade. I lost myself in the markets. I was obsessed with it. I was deep in it. And it wasn't something that came that easily to me, but I'm very grateful for the skill set. So during those 2 years, I lost myself so much that I couldn't recognize myself. I didn't want to go out. I was very antisocial. I was crying all the time. For the traders out there, they know just how much you are literally shown your demons every single day. It's very emotional. So I remember telling myself, this is January of 2022. I'm like, it's over, Catherine. Like, I can't recognize you anymore.
Right.
Let's fall in love with ourselves back again. So that was the
Mm.
intention. I just want to fall back in love with myself. I want to rediscover myself. I'm telling you, I couldn't even tell you what my passions were anymore. It was so weird.
Wow.
I lost myself.
Wow.
So I started diving into astrology. I
Mm.
started diving into archetypes, into gene keys. I dived into human design. And through my process of doing that, I was really open to the universe. I was just like having a
Yeah.
lot of conversations and being like, please guide me. Please show me how I can serve. I just don't know what I should do. So I took this astrology course. I took level 1. And in this course, this girl is like, if you have this position in your chart and you are
Mm.
taking this course, you are the astrologer of the
Ooh.
zodiac. And I remember it just struck a chord in me. There's something in my soul that was like, I can, I am. And from that moment, it was so weird. Even if I would say, if I was doing a movie of my life, in that span of a second, I had a thought of being like, I'm going to be judged. What are my
Wow.
parents going to say? What is
Right.
my family going to say? Like,
Yeah.
an astrologer? That's so random. Like, what is she doing? I'm going to
Mm.
be judged again for pivoting. So I had these thoughts, but at the same time, the knowing was so strong. It just
Ooh.
evaporated all of my fears. And literally a month after, I'm asking 5 girls to become my pilot group, doing a reading. And that's how it started. And
Wow.
I never looked back from that point.
Wow. Wow. That's total respect. Wow. What an amazing story. But I just want to follow up. You mentioned, at one point you were thinking, what would the people around you think about you jumping on this second stage, the pivot. What happened? Did they really were there bashers? Were there people questioning your decision? Or was it all good and smooth?
It's a really good question. Look, I would say that it was more my judgment
Mm.
or my assuming that that's what was going to happen.
Mm.
Um, because I've had a lot of people in my life telling me, like, so is this the thing now? So using
Right.
words like that would really have me question myself and being like, shit, they're right. I'm not being clear. I'm like constantly changing. So I was just like, I was exhausted for them to not know what Catherine is up to now. But
Mm.
at that point, it's just like there's so much love in my family in a sense that people just know that I'm special. I go for what I want. So I would say that it was less accurate things that were going on and more
Mm.
my judgment of what was coming. But I
Were
would
you not
say,
scared, my friend? Were
oh,
you not scared about, doing the pivot, not only on the financial side of it, because you're doing hardcore business focus before that, and now you're jumping into, let me use the word unknown back then, right? So that's where the financial challenge is, and then along with people asking you question, that it seems like it's a trend. Are you doing the right decision? Will you do the right decision? Walk us through that part of your life, my friend.
yeah, very good question. So you do have plenty of fears. You're just like, you're questioning and questioning. But one thing that I realized this last year, because I have to be totally transparent, what I'm telling you, the knowing and going for the group coaching was back last year in February of
Ooh,
2024. So
yeah.
this is not a long time ago.
Mm.
I would say that the fears were in a span of a second, and my passion and my knowing that that's what I was meant to do was so strong.
Wow.
I forgot about the fears. I forgot about the technicalities. I was
Mm.
really that child, that just excited child that has this beginner's luck type of
Right.
energy. I just had so much faith
Mm.
and certainty that this is what I'm meant to do. I just started taking action without even questioning myself. I didn't even question. It was just me moving forward in a very intuitive manner. It was very
Wow.
much asking for help,
Mm,
and just going by the whim of what I felt in my heart was right for me at that moment.
I love that. I love that. You just you know it in your heart and in your mind, in your spirit. So, you don't think of a lot of things. Naysayers will be there anyway. So you did a jump, and look where you are right now. You're really blossoming. You're helping people. You're touching people's lives. You're helping them grow. You're guiding them. So great job, my friend. I'm so proud of you, and I know people that you're helping is excited for them to see the light that you saw. But before we jump on that, you mentioned a lot of key points that really make or break in an entrepreneur's journey. Um, before I ask you this question, Kath, I want to ask you, for you, what is success? Because there's a lot of definition, and there's a lot of, when you go on YouTube, when you read a book, people will give you different types of definition of what success is. And sadly, sometimes we think that success is being rich, success is being wealthy. But I'm excited to know what your point of view in terms of success now that you're operating in, astrology and human design. The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah. That question. I love that question because I wish more people knew that success comes with alignment and authenticity. Those are the two words that I'm going to use because truly I've done so much in my lifetime. I've tried things, I've done and went about things thinking that the money was on the other side and thinking that that's what was going to truly make me happy.
Right.
And the last years has been just a dismantling of who I thought I was and who I think I should be, and just letting myself the grace to discover myself and know who I truly am at the core of myself. Like,
Mm,
what does Catherine want? Who is she? Like, why is she here? What is she good at? What are her gifts? So, uncovering myself through astrology and human design was almost like, okay, you're too clouded right now to know who Catherine is as a
mm,
human being. But what about those charts that are a recollection of who you are at a soul level? And that for me has been the key to authenticity
mm,
and a key to alignment. And once you come about life with that excitement that comes from being aligned and authentic, I can guarantee you success is on the other side. And
wow.
I'm a living, breathing testimony of that.
Testimony, yeah.
I really, really am. The second that I stopped thinking my way into life and just being more of who I'm meant to be, um, things just started to come to me so much easier, with so much ease and grace and fun. And yeah, I wish that for everyone. So for me, success is really being aligned and authentic. Yeah.
Wow, I love that. I will. What I was about to ask you about, what's the keys to success? What's your secret sauce? But you've given me, tips there. But I'm gonna ask it anyway for everyone that's listening and watching. So Kat, for you, what's the secret sauce to achieve success?
The secret sauce to success is, for me, I would say that starting to understand that you are unique. Okay,
Mm,
so the first part is please stop listening to everyone outside of yourself. That's the first part. So stop listening to people outside of yourself. I remember at a point where I was clouded and not remembering who I am. I literally took a year off of social media
oh
because I
yeah,
really
yeah.
needed that for myself, because I was listening to everyone outside of myself, trying to become someone that I am not. So that first part
Ooh.
is just like silence everyone that's around you
Mm,
and listen to yourself. We do not listen to ourselves anymore. We are so busy. We don't even take a 30 minutes just to sit with ourselves alone in our thoughts. Um, and writing has been very
mm.
therapeutic and very healing for me, and trying to recollect moments in my life. I did a lot of journaling on what are the themes in my life that are recurrent to
Mm,
help me to really know
right.
what am I here to do? Like there are signs. There's always these synchronicities and points that bring you on your life path. So
Wow.
why was I brought into communication and marketing?
Mm,
Why was I a social media manager? Why did
right.
I do personal branding? And like you start thinking of all those points and you
Yeah.
start to recollect that there's always a purpose. But what is that purpose? So, a key of having that success is actually recollecting those moments in your life that felt synchronistic and that brought you to your point today. Like maybe the pain that you went through is because you're meant to help other people transmute that pain into light, right? So it's really looking at our life path and seeing what are those recurring themes, what are those recurring patterns, and coming from there and getting to know ourselves a little bit more. And from a
Mm,
more technical point of view, once you know what you're meant to do and you understand who you are, it's a lot of letting go of the
mm,
expectations of what we think we should do and going about what feels aligned in the moment. So I do have a plan, I do have a calendar, but I let so much openness to my calendar in a sense of, is Catherine in more of a creative zone right now?
right.
If she is, I'm juicing the momentum until the end. If I'm
Yeah.
feeling inspired, I'm going until the end. If I'm feeling disconnected, then maybe it's the time to go have a coffee, go for a
Right.
walk, going in nature. So that has been a huge key to success for me. And putting yourself out there, let's say
Mm,
it. Like the second I started just being so open and excited about what I was doing, it was like, this is what I'm doing now. People
yeah.
started DMing me. And then
Right.
my success this year has been referrals. So it's a lot of that network and really understanding that life is about our community and the people we know. So really honing into the people that you know and giving them love and
Mm,
being there to support each other, right? So it's just like if you don't know enough people, get out there, go
mm.
to networking events. I've been doing networking events since university, so 2016.
Right.
So I know that my success today seems like, oh my God, like how did she get all these kinds? But I've been working hard for the past
Yeah.
years. I've been working like almost 10 years at developing these like network and relationships. So it's not just a like tomorrow all of this happened. There's been work in
Yeah.
the behind the scenes for sure.
How do you keep going when things get tough? I'm excited to know. The floor is yours.
Such a good question. When things get tough for me, it really is a matter of just coming back to myself. I find it so important to, in our very busy lives, very busy schedules, to find those mini moments of time where you can come back to yourself
Mm,
and just remove everything that's outside of ourselves, because often when we feel those difficult moments coming up and that resistance, when you're just wanting to give up, it's because we're just too much in our head, we're just
right.
stopping ourselves there and we're blocking ourselves. So coming back to ourselves and just doing something for our benefit, so something that truly speaks to us. We're all different. So this is going to look very different to you from what it is for me. Ways for me to come back to myself
I
is
was about to
being
ask
in
you that.
nature.
I was about to ask you that.
Yes. So for me, being in nature is one of
Mm,
the key ways to come back to myself, to hear myself a little bit better. Because when I'm in the flow of things and I'm super busy, I will tend to, and we all do this, we don't
right.
listen to ourselves anymore. So being in nature, I connect back to myself.
Mm,
Working out allows me to connect to my body, to come back and ground myself. Just like even
yeah.
reading just a book, taking that time, and also connecting back to my vision and why I'm doing this. So when I am truly disconnected to what I'm doing is just reminding myself, why did you start doing this in the first place?
Right.
So even inviting people to ask themselves that question in their journey, because maybe it's a time where you're supposed to reconnect with your vision. Maybe it's a matter of changing that vision. So reconnecting to why we do what we do is a really beautiful way to making sure that you're able to be persistent and you're able to have that determination. Because it's beautiful in the beginning, right? You are so clear on that knowing of why you're doing what you do.
Right.
So that's why I write down every single synchronicity that I go through in my life. They are written in a little book. Why? Because when it gets tough, I get back to 2022 and I remind myself of the Catherine that started that book being like, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm so lost. I don't recognize myself anymore, but I am determined to find my way in my path. So when I get back to that book and I read those passages and I see the synchronicities, I'm like, baby girl, you're meant to do this. So just remind yourself of that.
Love
So
that.
read back those passages.
I love
So
that.
if you do not have a journal of your synchronicities, I invite anyone and everyone to start doing that.
Oh, I'm gonna start one.
It's magical. And the more you write them down, and this is not me saying this is Deepak Chopra. He has a whole book on this concept. The more you write down your synchronicities, the more they happen to you. And it is mind blowing. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. What's, this is really something that I'm excited to know from you, my friend. What's the biggest lesson you've learned from failure? Maybe you already mentioned, you've lost yourself, in that part of your entrepreneurial journey. But let's bring in that story back for all the listeners and viewers out there that maybe they are in that same situation. Maybe they are losing hope. Maybe they're back in a corner because they can't deal with failure anymore. The floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you. Oh, it's such a beautiful question. It's a huge, huge question, but I want to start by saying the word letting go.
Ooh.
Letting go has been huge for me. That was the first step. Letting go of my expectations, letting go of what I think or thought that my life was going to look like, letting go of any preconceived notion of who I am and what I think I should do, and letting myself respond to what life brings my way. So I feel like when you're at that point where it's so dark, like I was there, like we're so clouded, you do not see what the other side is going to look like. Once you accept that you're in that specific time of your life,
Right.
accepting it is just being very grateful for being in that point, because please know that if you are suffering in any way right now or you feel pain, it's a blessing, because you could have been asleep all your life. You could have just been going with the mundane life,
Right.
and not questioning yourself and not wanting more. Because if you're feeling that pain, it's because there's something more for you. So just that is like, please recognize that means that something greater is coming to you.
Yeah.
You just need to let go right now. And you need to just accept whatever is going to come. And that's one thing that human design really taught me is my strategy as a generator. Strategy means how do we take action? So mine is called wait to respond. So what I used to do before, and that's where the resistance came into my life, I was forcing everything. I was controlling everything. I was doing, and I'm not here to do and take action that way. I meant to wait for the universe to send me things and respond to what the universe brings me. So I was like, you know what? I will test this theory of human design. Like, let me see what happens if I just wait and respond. And then slowly but surely, with the synchronicity journal, I started to recognize that the universe was sending me very specific signs. So that allowed me as a person to start responding to what it was sending me in my life in that moment. If you are at a point where you do not see the signs, and that's okay, it's going to come, it's a practice. If you're there, then it's more about removing anything that doesn't serve your highest self and highest potential.
Love that.
So, what friends are not meant to be in your life?
Yeah.
What things are not aligned with you anymore? Because if you're a generator like me, if you're not excited about all that you're doing, get it out of your life so the universe can bring you something better to come and fulfill that part of your life.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Wow.
that would be my complex answer.
No, that it really makes sense, and that's a knowledge bomb after knowledge bomb. Thank you, Catherine, for sharing mind-blowing, insights about success, perseverance, and now about failure. Thank you also for sharing your wonderful story. Again, I'm a fan. I will always be. I
Appreciate
respect
you.
I respect what you do. So much love. But we're not done yet. I know you mentioned this off cam that you haven't promoted the core of what you do because it's new, and I am blessed that we can talk about it here on the show. So this is the part where you can promote your project, the task that you're doing, online accounts that people can visit you and check you out, website, anything. The floor is yours, my friend.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for those kind words. I'm so grateful to be here. So the best way people can reach out to me is either on Instagram at Hey It's Cat P with CATHP. I also have a website, catherinepaquette.com. So right now I am mainly known for my 90-minute signature reading where I blend astrology and human design, and I go deep into your charts to uncover who you came here to be. So I really look at what your missions are, your assignments, your gifts. I also look at lessons that you're here to learn. But one thing that I've been talking to you off cam and that I'm working on right now is bringing back my first love of branding and personal branding and realizing that personal branding, if you look up the definition, it just says that branding, specifically personal branding, is about communicating who we are the right way.
Yeah.
So, what I am working on is called Communicate by Design. And this idea of finding into your charts who you came here to be and helping you position yourself the right way online so you can be found, because that's truly what happened in my journey. Is that the
Love
second that I positioned myself as an astrologer and human design reader, everything clicked and everyone came to me, and it wasn't resistance anymore. It was just like, what? I don't have a funnel anymore. I don't have a structure and people are coming to me. Like, what is happening? So I think that the key there was just positioning myself the right way. So I want to help people to figure that out with me. Yeah.
So there you have it, guys. Please do connect with Catherine. I'm sure she can help you in your journey towards success. Again, Catherine, love you so much. Thank you for being here. God bless you.
Thank you for being with us here on the Creative Talk Podcast. I'm your host, John Santos. Don't forget to listen and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. See you again, always.